Hi everyone, it's Amanda again. This is another segment from my Beyond Quantum Healing session, or BQH session with Rebekah Rice. We intended to start the session with past life because I really enjoy those opportunities to see and experience other times. But when we started, I came into this underground amphitheater looking thing as an Asian male. I dressed sort of in the old style Asian like robes or whatever, but there were alien beings there. So I was a little confused and didn't know exactly what was going on. And then there was like a film across the entire middle of the little amphitheater thing that I was in. Actually, the film was like more towards our side, so that like the other side was bigger than our side. And it's just like it's like somebody had put saran wrap across the whole, like from ceiling to floor, from side to side. And we could see through it, and it was it kind of moved a little, like, I don't know, I guess if you would imagine the wind blowing the saran wrap a little. Anyway, and it had this yellowy brown cast to it, so we couldn't really, it wasn't very clear. It was like some kind of technology so that we could see from wherever we were into this other side to see what was going on. And I remember being very kind of happy and excited to see this. So I'm not really sure if that was a future me or a past me, or what this technology was I just, can you tune it to a certain thing and watch a certain thing in time and a certain play? I don't know. Anyway, so that's how it started out, instead of, your traditional past life or whatever. So, and then the odd thing is that I was both this Asian guy on the one side, and I was sort of a light being on the other side at the same time. So, anyway, so here's the segment. I took out some names of people, and I'm not fancy enough to like garble them or make them obvious so that you can tell I took them out. So there's just blank space where names should be. But I wanted to get this out. It's been like 2 weeks now, almost 2 weeks now, I think. Week and a half? I don't know what day it is. It's been a while. I meant to get this out like right away. Anyway, so that's what the blank spots are. I think there's only like 3 of those, or maybe 4. Maybe 2. There's a few. Anyway, and then I took out a ton of pauses because when I was repeating what the one guy was saying, it was like 2 words, pause, for like 10 seconds, 2 or 3 words, pause. So I tried to like take all that stuff out, so that it's much shorter. And now I'm making it longer with this commentary. Anyway, there's so much more to it. The whole part about me using a distraction on everybody, it wasn't really a distraction. I found out later what it was, and it was a little devastating. So I'll try to find that and also share that soon, so be on the lookout. I'm sharing as much of this as possible. I'm trying to clean it up and put it in segments that make sense and fit together, and I'm trying to keep out all the personal stuff where I mention other people, their names, like everything's interspersed, so it's hard to like fit all the pieces together and get it out there to share with you guys, but I'm working on it. So here's the second part. Hope you find it as interesting as I did, and hang in there, guys. Hold the love for everyone, and much love to you. So I'm watching a meeting of galactic beings, light beings, like beings that are still physical, but they're very light being-ish. They still have physical aspects. Some of them have clothes, some of them don't. They're just light. This is a meeting about something on Earth, a plan for Earth, basically. And because an aspect of me that, this is tricky because there's no time. There's this humanish me that's Asian, but my higher self, the Asian is just an aspect of my higher self. And then I also have another aspect of me that's a light, sort of a light being, still embodied in the physical, but blue, glowy. I'm participating in the meeting about Earth and the plan, some new ideas about Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So a few of us on this side are able to know and see. I don't think my Asian self knows that it has another aspect on the other side.
Is it possible for you to try to switch aspects now from your Asian aspect to the galactic aspect on the other side of that veil?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and do that then. Okay. Let's go ahead and integrate into this galactic body now. It's blue. You're fully immersing into this consciousness, into this experience and knowledge of this galactic version of yourself. And tell me what that feels like.
It's much more calm, centered, and unconcerned. There's no earthly concerny type stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'm interested in what we're here to discuss and figure out, not figure out. I'm interested to see what my fellow beings have to share.
So let's go ahead and have this galactic version of yourself begin to observe what is being said and what is being shared by your fellow beings. Just report to me as you understand it.
It's funny because I've seen this scene from a different perspective, from the other side of the room. And at that time I saw myself outside of myself, but now I am that being, looking at it from a different direction. I see higher aspect, or an aspect, but he's not a glowy being like me. It's him, and she's wearing kind of a flowy garment. She may be a little blue. She might be a blue being, not quite the same as me. He's kind of wearing robes, like kingly looking things, and he looks like what do they call them? He looks like the typical blonde-haired, blue-eyed alien I don't know if those are the Pleiadians, a type of Pleiadian.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. She's a different type of being. She has long black hair, and she looks blue from here.
And are they on the other side of another veil?
No, they're just at the other end. Mm-hmm. Like I'm about in the middle of the room, towards the other end, and they're at the other end, and he is expressing his ideas about, let me make sure we're actually talking about Earth. I'm just checking to see if what I got, I'm disregarding what I got before to see what's happening right now. And everyone seems very pleased. I'm not sure what he's expressing. And I'm not sure if it has to do with Earth even.
You see him speaking with his mouth, or is he using telepathy?
He seems to be actually speaking.
Mm-hmm. So we can also pause and rewind a little bit back to before he began speaking. And I want you to tap into the ability to be able to hear him very clearly, and tapping in to be able to understand exactly what he means, exactly what he is saying, because that is the reason why we're here right now. So go ahead now and unpause, and it'll play again just like before, only this time you'll be able to hear him clearly.
I'm going to repeat what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
It is my wish to promote a more beneficial way of experiencing in this creation. I'm here because we all wish to enrich our beings in new and ways with new endeavors. And as we can all agree that this has reached the expansiveness under the current way it was constructed, I suggest we, something to the effect of, change the experiment by becoming part of it. When we look at the ways in which, he's talking about Earth, when we look at the ways in which things unfold here, okay, he's projecting mental images now, and he's showing the Earth turning gray. This is just a gray rock. There's with I don't know what looks like volcanoes from space or something. So he's saying the way it played out in all of the permutations and all of the timelines, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't give us any more expansion. But if we embody there among the inhabitants, the experiment will be made to flourish. And now he's showing green, just green everywhere. And a lighter feeling. And therefore we give those beings already participating in the experience a much richer experience. And we give ourselves the experience as well of something very different than we have known in our experiences. And somebody asks, will you be going? Yes. How will you disconnect from your knowledge and abilities? Intention. We will leave open a connection to our true aspects. However, we will disconnect from all real knowing. Someone else says you can't disconnect. It's not possible. This is where I step in. So I volunteer that I seem to have a knowledge of this. Distracting these beings here that go, or the beings that choose to go, and I'm just going to call them higher dimensional beings that choose to go to Earth to enrich the experience by bringing their vibration to the planet. those beings can be distracted into forgetting and not tapping their higher aspects until they're needed. Until and if they're needed. The connections, the understanding. Looking at I'm like using I'm telepathic, so I don't even seem to have a mouth. I'm more vibration than body. We don't want to be gods there. We want to enhance what's already there, not create our own anything.
So it sounds like this is a meeting to decide how to embody as humans in this current life.
That comes later. I just have the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This meeting is to discuss or introduce the idea and see how it's received and if everyone agrees or has other ideas.
And I'm curious, this whole meeting, all the beings that are here, and in between the different veils, all the beings as a collective, does this meeting have a type of group that it calls itself this governing, deciding body?
It does, but I don't know if I can pronounce it.
You can spell it if you want to.
Give me a second. Nope. There are no vowels in this name. It's a vibrational, it's like light language sounds or something. It's like Kirchsingna.
Using your telepathic abilities, you can also actually tap into the feeling vibration and use your knowledge of the English language to find the best translation that you possibly can.
I think people translate it as the Galactic Federation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really a group of beings of different evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
Beings that evolved in different places, but that are vaguely the same vibration of understanding and feeling and ability to understand and communicate. We're different ones from all over.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like a group of friends. We're sort of like working together, and this just happens to be one thing that we're working on or that we're considering to enrich. Because when we enrich anything, it benefits everyone everywhere. It's not just for our pleasure. Like we don't get pleasure out of it necessarily. Just how can we enrich the all?